Yeah, today we're going to be listening to one of the biggest names in the Nigerian oil industry, Mr. FEMI. OTEDOLA talked about how he went into the business, not because he wanted to go into the business, but because he found out there is a gap that he felt called to fill. You know, it's all about finding a problem that you feel you're destined to solve. It's not often the right thing to look for money before going into a business, but when you find a problem that you strongly feel you have been called to solve, suddenly you find yourself making more money than you ever thought you could ever make. Just sit back and watch this interview.
An entrepreneur knows what no one knows. That's the secret to success for an entrepreneur. An idea strikes you, which no one knows about. Only you know about that idea. That was what makes you successful. You know what no one knows. If I was telling my daughter the other day, I said, listen girl, in 50 years, I'll be dead in 50 years, and there are not going to be petrol stations in the world anymore. You're going to have solar power, electric cars, renewable energy. I'm a good student of history, and I always say to my children that my vision is to have an empire that will outlive me. When I was young, 6 years old, that was when I set up my first company. I had the entrepreneurial spirit in me, and I remember very well, vividly, that my father then used to work for Mobile, and when he had his friends coming into the house, and I will do the manicure and pedicure, and they'll pay me and write a receipt for them. Because I also believe that my gift, because everybody has a gift, the blessing is to discover your gift. So this day I came home and there was no power, and I had to move my entire family to Sheraton Hotel. So I called a friend of mine and said, listen, where do you get diesel from? He said there was a company that supplies diesel. So I called up the company and said, well, they'll bring the diesel in 2 days. They gave me the price. It was very high, and I paid. 3 days after, of course, they never came. So I was driving from my office in Victorialand. Then I got on the third mainland and I saw it parked, and I saw the name of the company, and I parked behind it. I said, listen, I paid you guys money for gas. So when I supply my gas, I said, well, in 2 days they'll do it. Fine. I went back home. Of course, I'd kept my family in the town. So when I got home, 2 days after, I was descending the stairs and I saw this truck from the glass. The first house I built. I saw this truck, dirty truck, broken down in my compound. I just built the house and I'm like, come on, this truck, old truck, spoiling my beautiful floor. So I called my security guy. I said, listen, we need to move this truck out. So we moved the truck out and I put old newspapers on the floor. So the truck came back in, parked. There was a pipe from the truck to my tank, discharging the diesel. So and I said to myself, come on, I could do this business. Then of course, I told Ellen the story of my wife and stuff, and I said, I could do this business, clean it up. So the truck went out, drove out, put the papers on the floor, the truck came in discharge. Then I went to the tank, I looked at it, the truck actually had a meter. It was meant to pump 2,000 liters into the tank. So the truck left, we paid the driver, I left. So now I said to myself, I could do this business. So the following day, I got to my office, I called my manager to call the manager of that trucking business. So the guy came to see me, and I said, listen, you know, your business looks interesting. Why don't you come and work for me? Of course, I'm a very unassuming person, and the guy said, no, I'm sorry. That was it. So I started making inquiries, intelligence about the business. Eventually, I found out that a lot of people buy diesel for their homes. So what I did was I bought a second-hand, not a truck now, a pickup. So I called all my friends and I said, listen, I could supply you guys diesel. So I put the drum on the diesel, sit in front with the driver, and I was delivering diesel to all my friends.
You did.
And they were all, of course, and they were all laughing at me. When we get to the club at night, they say, "Oh, come on, get out. Where's your pickup? Where's your diesel pickup? You know, are you selling diesel to this club?" You know, and so on.